Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back for another recording session of Hearthstone. So, let's see. As far as the quest, I could trade this 50 and try to get a 60, but it would be a bad trade, in my opinion. Winning 3 games with Rogue when you have to win 5 games with Rogue or Warrior seems to overlap quite nicely, and then win 5 Tavern Brawls. Let's look at the Tavern Brawl. Can we play the Tavern Brawl at all? It's the Fate one, isn't it? Let's see, let's play this right now. See if we can win 1 or 2 on that and then move on to Rogue. Now, if I was smart, I would rebuild my my deck here for Rogue and play in Tavern Brawls. That way that overlaps too. Of course, I never really claimed to be super smart. Nah, I mean, I'll probably play 2 games on the mech deck and then move on to the Rogue deck.
The light shall bring victory.
Your soul shall be mine.
So I'm trying to think about what was I talking about last Hearthstone session. And oddly enough, I believe that I was talking about Lego Batman 2? Maybe? Because I've already recorded all of Mirror's Edge. Mirror's Edge was a pretty slow, slow is the wrong thing. Let's see. I'm gonna go with the coin one. So, Mirror's Edge was a short experience, and what's really interesting to me about my experience with Mirror's Edge is simply the fact that I did a spotlight in December 2014 of Mirror's Edge, and I was very complimentary of the game. I would have gone further, done a complete run through the game if it hadn't crashed on my laptop. And coming back and doing it in 2016, I am so much more critical of it. I am so much more a better critic. That's not to say that there's no room for progress or I don't still have a lot to learn, but I pretty much just said in the spotlight, from what I remember. I probably should go back and watch the spotlight and see what I was doing. I know for a fact I was being more silly and just putting personality into that spotlight than I probably did in this new coverage of Mirror's Edge. But on those elements, I certainly feel like I have grown a lot in that time. Let's go ahead and just make sure this guy's dead in the turn. Mirror's Edge has some major flaws, I've realized. Everybody pretty much knew the shooting parts where you have to take a gun from a cop and shoot them, were flawed, but the reason for the collectibles is pretty lame, particularly when you're talking playing it on Steam where there are no achievements or anything getting all of that. The speedrun sections are just a way to force you to play the game twice because nothing changes in the speedrun versus the story mode. And then the time trial sections, which are changes to the area and nobody's chasing you in any of the time trial sections, they are incredibly difficult. I couldn't get a single time trial done. I'm gonna do this. Do I want to draw a coin? Draw a card? Yeah, let's go ahead and just draw a card. Your opponent needs a new fate when they hit level 20. There's definitely like only one, maybe two ways to get to from the beginning to the end of a level, and the differences are either really unbalanced, where there's a really hard way to do it, or a really easy way to do it, or they're yeah, that was the one example I saw of that actually, was that when you could go different ways, one was really hard, one was really easy, and I would like to see Mirror's Edge Catalyst or Mirror's Edge 2 be more open world. I've seen a couple of increases. Summon a random legendary minion, or this. Let's play this. So that we'll get a coin if we kill that guy. So we could kill this guy. Let's just go ahead and do it. I guess I have to end the turn here. Yeah, so Mirror's Edge Catalyst or 2. And I was saying that a lot in the series too. It's like, I am glad Catalyst is coming out as a prequel, but I mean, that's fine. I'm not particularly glad or care one way or the other. But I would, regardless of how Catalyst does, I think Mirror's Edge as a story deserves a sequel, and the story's not that good. The reason you're wrapped up in the whole mess is barely explained or barely important. Why do I have charge? Interesting. So this one, this one, this one, this one, kill that one. End the turn. Yeah, Fell Cannon. He's really got me in a problem. And he's got 20 cards, so he's not gonna run out of cards anytime soon. I don't know what I'm gonna do here. But one of the trailers of Mirror's Edge Catalyst has some other runners running with Faith. That would be good. One reveal I'd like to see that I think would just be funny is if at the end of Mirror's Edge 2 in particular, it would be funnier then, is she would take like some makeup remover or something and take the tattoo off of her eye and the tattoo off her arms and just walk into the a crowded area, and become immediately undistinguishable from any of the other characters in the crowd, because it does not make a lot of sense in this dystopian society that is completely under control of that city. that people would get, that the runners would get tattoos and just look uh, look completely out of place. You'd want to try to hide in plain sight. It makes way more sense. But yeah, because the trailer shows more runners, that's good. It really felt like there was only 6 of them in Mirror's Edge 1. And it seems kind of ridiculous that the mayor of that city was hiring private police to take out 6 runners. And alright, this. Alright. What does this one do? Restore 2 health to your hero every time you heal. Alright, how about this? Attack. 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 Attack once here. And then let's just go ahead and play a couple of coins and draw a card. In turn. I really wish there was in the story mode of Mirror's Edge. I think we're just gonna keep going through Mirror's Edge all today, because that's really all I've done. I did Sam & Max Series 3, Season 3 too. Did I talk about that? So I'll get on that too. But first, I really wish in the story mode there was a way you could have turned off enemies completely. Even playing on easy, there was times when you were just dying over and over again. There's also no checkpoint. The checkpoint system's awful in Mirror's Edge 1. It often would make you go back quite far when it needed to just save you at the last jump you made always. The path illuminating, if you wanted to use that phrase, was pretty bad, because often I would just jump without even knowing what's going on or what was supposed to happen. Alright. We need a couple guys on. Let's get rid of this guy. Let's get rid of this guy. And this guy. Done. There we go. But yeah, if you could have gone a very easy mode with no bad guys, that would have been nice. Or if that was the speedrun mode. But the way the speedrun mode is set up so that it's exactly the same as the story, but it gives you a time at the end, seems so ridiculous. Because they don't even save your time the first time you play the game. By default, your best speed should, after you've played the main game, be there. And yeah, I don't think you can play time travel mode. The speedrun mode, not time travel mode, that's different. I don't think you can even play it until you beat the game. The red runner's vision doesn't work very well. And often they get bored in the middle of the game of showing you red everything, and then they'll start directing you with blue painted things, and then they'll start directing you with green painted things. Not quite like the runner's vision, but almost similar enough that you take notice of it. Well, I don't think there's anything more I can do here. Let's kill this guy. And then damage this guy. I don't know why I did that. That was dumb. I should have kept my divine shield so he can't heal him. The story is bad. Like, there's a character in there, the first time you meet him, you think he's going to be helpful. The second time you meet him, he betrays you and rejects you. And then the third time you meet him, he's helpful again. So he goes from good guy to bad guy to good guy in the 3 times you meet him in the game. There was no animation budget in it at all, and that's why we get the cool, I will definitely say cool anime cutscenes, but those were all going to be done in engine, and because they weren't, that just shows they spent all their money on the game, which I guess is fine. I mean, if every game came out with anime cutscenes because they spent all their time to make a good flowing game, that's alright. But there are still even problems with its running mechanics and what the game asks you to do and wants you to do. Let's see, how can we do this? Let's draw this first. Play this, play this. Play this. Summon a legendary minion. So this would kill this one. This one has to kill this one, I guess. And then what do we want to do? I guess we want to kill this one. Change all enemies' attacks to 1. Oh, that's kind of a pointless card, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Play. Attack in the turn. Almost ran out of time there. I wish there was more chase sequences in Mirror's Edge. I wish there was more of a time trial aspects in Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and I think we're gonna see that because in the movement trailer that they just released, we saw that there were these yellow orbs that she was running towards and jumping through, and I bet that's a time trial side mission or something. They were definitely open to give us side missions because as a runner, you could, in theory, you should have been taking jobs and running secrets or illicit goods between different points. So I guess I can kill this guy as long as he's not healed. This guy is at 10 already. What's he doing? Why is he playing coins? I mean, I think I'm playing against the bot at this point. That's the only person that would have been silly enough to do that. Alright.
I'll fix you.
This.
May I go away now?
Attack. In the turn. It's taken a while, but I've turned this around. Let's see. What else could about Mirror's Edge? Better characterization. Better explanation to make sure that we were working for the right team. The story really doesn't show enough of this world to make you certain that the vast majority of people in that city didn't just love the way the city was run. It's pretty easy to assume that it's a horrible dystopian place where everybody is afraid to speak out against the government, but we just don't really see great atrocities going on, and the city is clean and the city looks nice, and so you start to wonder if it isn't just that the 99.9% of the people are happy with the government and its oppressive rules. You just don't know because we never see the people. We see in one cutscene a long time ago there was a protest march that went bad. That's all we see. Anyways, let's move off of Mirror's Edge. It's such a, I hope the next game is a little longer, but I wouldn't be really upset if it was the same length, because of just the way it's designed. I need a new fate apparently. Let's go ahead and do that. This guy will have speed ability. Oh man, I played poorly. I should have attacked with this, and then... Do I have 10 cards? I may have 10 cards right here.
Prepare yourselves for the ultimate test.
We may very well come down to the final thing. All minions have charge and taunt. Minions gain death rattle random card on this. All minions have wind fury. Each turn each minion played into a 1/1 Murloc. We'll give everybody wind fury. How about that? One, 2, 3, 4. So charge and taunt means we can just do that, hit that, hit that, and be very happy with our outcome. Samimax Season 3, let's see what to talk about that. Very, very weird. It inherently, I may have already talked about this, so I'll probably go pretty quick. It inherently suffered from the Telltale tool being redeveloped to make a game like Jurassic Park, which then eventually evolved into The Walking Dead. That if I'm remembering right, it was probably Sam & Max Season 3, then Jurassic Park, then what is it, Back to the Future. Oh, that was the last of those cards. I'm out of cards now. I'm fatigued. Alright.
You have been.
Doesn't matter. That's 22 minutes to play that, though. So that's our one Tavern Brawl, but we need to edit our deck. So we need to select Rogue. And so delete. And we're gonna play as the Rogue. And then we're going to play as pirates first. So a couple of these, a couple of these. Wait, do I not have any one-eyed cheats in that deck? Yeah, I do. Never mind. So, Blood Sail, those two, and then those two, and those two. I still don't have enough pirates for a pirate deck, do I? Let's see, Dread Corsair, do we have that? Yes, those two, and Salty Dog, those two, okay. That solves the start of that. Next thing we're looking for is Deadly Poison, and then Blade Fury, and cut purse. Let's see. Cut purse is over here. He's a 2. Isn't he over here? Let's see. We'll get back to Sam and Max after I build this deck. He must not be in there. He must be over here. Yeah, there he is. One-Eyed Cheat, Ship's Cannon, Shady Deal, and Tread, Corsair. Elias Starseeker, really? Do I want that? Archthief for Fam? Do I really want that? Tomb Pillager. We'll take the Tomb Pillager and we'll take the Poison Blade to replace Elias Starseeker, and then we'll take Archthief Rafam, who is a 9, so he's over here. Way over here. I guess inherently this is why, this is part of the problem with the cards and why they need to retire some of them too, is the system is just so difficult to get from the beginning to the end because there are so many cards going on now. Takes about a minute just to flip the pages. But they could fix that through interfaces. Let's see. Keep using the active deck.
Valera versus Uther.
So it immediately knew that that deck that I'm playing is not a match. Because of the one change I made. I took out Elias Starseeker and added a Poison Blade. Let's see. Gonna mulligan on those 3 in hopes of a Ship's Cannon. Ship's Cannon should be a good one to start with against the Paladin. Alright, so back to Sam and Max. It totally suffers from the Telltale tool being changed. It'll be interesting to see how this fate changes stuff. Do I want unstable portals? Do I want to swap the attack and health?
So many
Armor.
options.
Let's go with bananas, I guess. Some of these just don't make sense to me ever.
Job done.
So you start off Sam and Max Season 3 in just an insane scenario that turns out to be a flash forward, and then you go back to before this insane scenario happens, and then you immediately have a very brief flashback, and it feels like the writer was simply just having fun with the game, or somebody else just, or making fun of the general concept of good writing.
Here we
And
go.
inherently, here's me saying inherently again, I need to really stop using that word. I'm not sure that the writer of Sam and Max can write anymore. I'm not sure he could ever write.
Speak to me.
And I'm not sure, and I'm pretty not sure. I'm almost certain that he can't write Sam and Max to what I expect Sam and Max to be. The first 2 games that weren't made by Telltale had some craziness in them, but they were never this wild. They weren't to the point of just extreme ridiculousness. Let's see. This.
Feed the fish, landlubber.
I could play this and it would kill a couple of them, but I'm just gonna hit this,
Here we
hit
go.
this, and then power this, and then end this turn. So the story felt very strange. And so you go through this first episode of season 3, and it's rather strange. At a certain point, the whole time through the game, you're walking through a 3D environment instead of more of a 2.5D environment that we've seen in season 1 or season 2. So you can walk into the street now. There's a up, down. The walking is miserable because you no longer just click where you want to walk and walk there. Now you have to click and hold the mouse or use the WASD keys on the keyboard, which is what I had ended up doing. So
Here we
that's a big, disappointment. It's obvious that they planned for, let's see, can we coin, play.
Thank you.
Job's done.
Wow, look at those cards all spread out.
My hand is too full.
So like at a certain point, the 3D element of walking around in Sam & Max is revealed because they wanted one little scene where you could, where a ship was firing at you and you could try to avoid it, and you try to get it to fire at where you were standing to blow up other things. That certainly could have been done 3D. At the very end of the season 3, there's another 3D element that's just awful, where you're basically Godzilla walking around through a city, but the city is turned into this grid, so you're more like Pac-Man walking through a city because you can barely even click and move through it. And it's the truth is, the Telltale tool was being redeveloped for 3D and away from point-and-click adventure games, and it really hurt. And this game was specifically designed to be released on consoles. You can tell because the inventory is really big. I like the improvement of the inventory being bigger, but
X marks the spot.
to reach that point and improve it in such a way, you had to, let's see, rotten banana. Let's give another 2-2 here.
Here we go.
And attack. To use the menu items in Sam X, I was talking about something else, but I forgot. There's like usually 3 buttons. There's a take it out of the inventory so you can use it in the rest of the game in the inventory. There's a describe it to me button, so basically a look at it. But some items have a activate button that would then activate it, and in one case when you activated a parchment, it would then have you look at it. So the describe button pretty much is just redundant and not needed and not what you need to use, but in the one time you actually need something described to you. But all 3 of those buttons overlap the previous. Why am I getting a new fate? Oh, when everybody has Wind Fury. Owner draws a card. Let's try this one. Whenever anyone dies, the owner's gonna draw a card from now on. I'm gonna go ahead and play this. And play this. And play this.
Blood and plunder.
And then play this.
Die, landlubber.
Attack here.
Here
Attack
we
here.
go.
So I'm bouncing off the wall here and not really paying attention, but let's move on to Sam & Max Season 2. It's totally pointless. I mean, Season 3, Episode 2 is totally pointless. It's a flashback story of the ancestors of Sam and Max. It introduces some characters somewhat, but not really. It introduces a weird time mechanic where you kind of have to go back and forth between 3 different time zones, and then you can go to the 4th time zone, but you can't do anything in the 4th time zone until you've done every single bit of the first 3. Let's see.
Thank you.
Do I want to destroy anything? Yeah, let's go ahead and play this and kill this guy. Play this
Here we go.
and kill this one. Kill this one.
Thailand
Kill
lover.
this one.
My hand is too full.
Oh, this is lovely. This is lovely. I'm just
Hand
gonna
is
make
too
him
full.
run out of cards and destroy himself as long as he can't kill me. We'll see how well this actually works. So yeah, the entire second episode is pointless. There was no reason for it to be, for the story to be presented the way it is presented. I find nothing really redeemable from it, and it seems like to have just been an experiment for no real reason. Then you go to episode 3, which episode 3 starts off completely different. Everything has been particularly different up to this point. This will be our last game. Like, Sam & Max have been somewhat different and not a traditional point-and-click adventure game up to this point, but it just goes wide off the... It's not even on the chart anymore when you start in episode 3. Somebody steals Max's brain. That's not really a spoiler since it's called They Stole Max's Brain. And Sam just goes crazy and runs around for the entire first act,
For it. Watch your back.
beating up and interrogating like 3 different people. And it's this conversation thing where you have to... They'll say a statement and you can threaten them, you can say some stupid noir thing that doesn't really ever accomplish anything except for once. You can threaten them, you can call them a liar, you can tell them to hurry up and go to the next statement. It eventually
The pleasure is mine.
turns it into a situation where you're just going to always repeat yourself at least 3 or 4 times to get the right answers, and it feels almost like a early predecessor to The Walking Dead, where where they might have been able to make a game like that where you're gonna question or have an actual conversation with people.
What you got there?
But I'm glad The Walking Dead did not have anything like that. Sure, you can call people liars, and people will remember that, and that might affect the outcome of the story somewhat, but it was more like LA Noire, which a lot of the Sam & Max Season 3s felt like it was just straight up creating a spoof of modern games that would have been out during that time.
Here we go.
If the conversation wheel now versus a conversation of going up and down a box, just felt wrong for Sam and Max, and it felt very much influenced by
secrets.
what's the game now? Mass Effect, yeah. But you can't do a Mass Effect style game
X marks the
around
spot.
Sam and Max. That just won't work because they're never gonna be paragons of virtue. They're always gonna be somewhat bad guys. Alright, let's
Here we go.
attack the face. Good, that just gives them 8 armor. That means I can attack with everything else I have. And then the turn. So the next part of episode 3 of Sam and Max does get back to a pretty traditional point-and-click adventure style of gameplay. It's not. It doesn't really add anything new except for no, not really
Here
anything
we go.
new. If I think about it a little bit more. And then let's see, the third part
Someday I'll be just
Oh.
like you.
episode 4. Oh yeah, I think the third part of episode 3, not 4, sorry. Again, I'm just bouncing around the wall and have not thought anything through. This is why you see so many people on YouTube do jump cuts. They just hear themselves going and just not thinking things through and saying the wrong things. But I'm not doing that here. This is my off-the-cuff, unedited blog. That's all you're ever gonna get with Hearthstone, until I quit playing Hearthstone. So the third act of episode 3, I keep confusing episode and seasons too.
You want it?
Then the entire universe of Sam and Max is magically changed, which isn't really that far from a Sam and Max story. It's right in line with the level of craziness we've experienced. And by the third episode, you've hopefully worked your way into the game enough that you would be prepared for something like that. My only real objection was the craziness of the very first scene of it, season 3. It's just the very first scene of season 3, and so they don't really work you into reacquainting yourself with the characters, and they somewhat don't even really sell it on Steam, at least, as
Knowledge
season
is
3.
power, and I know
The official Telltale site sells them all together, so. Let's see, when a minion dies, draw a card, game death. I'm just gonna do this one. And I only got 2 unstable foils.
You shall not pass.
I have to immediately kill that guy. We can do this. We can equip this.
Here we go.
We can do this and take some damage, I guess. I think I'm gonna lose here. So let's hurry up Sam and Max here, so I don't fall into the next recording with it. We've already been going for 4 minutes. Also, I've done a little bit of Batman 3, like 3 levels, so I may talk about that a little bit, but not much. There really isn't a ton to say.
Well played.
Other than I hate that the season pass exists, and I hate that I really can't afford to buy it.
I've got the beast in my sight.
So all the universe is changed in the third act. You have to work to set the universe back together, and you do that, and then you're into season 4. In season 4, you're presented with a new mystery. It's mostly the same stuff. At the end, you have a reveal and a boss fight that's a little bad, and then there's a second boss fight after that that's a little bad, but kind of cool. It was a kind of cool puzzle. And then you get to the final part, and I guess I will just leave the final episode 5 for next recording. Yep. We didn't accomplish much, did we? Oh well. Next time, hopefully we'll accomplish more. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.